because not even everybody has the books right now. And this verse, the last one, Sahana Bhavatu, we say it so much, and a lot of us came a little bit later. And the explanation is I will tell you in my book, it is chapter 2 से शुरू हुआ है, ब्रह्मानंद वल्ली से शुरू हुआ ये, peace invocation. So anyway, we'll do the mantras and then we'll go through the meaning, and that's what we will do today. Okay. So first I'll just do like I do every day, every week. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanno Indra Brahaspatihi Shanno Vishnu Rurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanma Vavatu Tad Vaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So let's see. Over here they have just given the English meaning, and then we will go to the beginning of the chapter 2. Does anybody have the page number? If you go to chapter 2, the first is called Peace Invocation. If you have a book, go to chapter 2. My book is 111.
Page 18
18 में उसका that is kind of how can हाँ
आपने क्या बोला था?
chapter 2 ब्रह्मानंद वल्ली जहाँ से शुरू होता है ना, उसका शांति पाठ है ये.
अच्छा, chapter 2 आपने.
हाँ, चैप्टर 2 में जाइए, फिर देखिए पेज नंबर क्या है. किसी को मिला? जैसे कि वो एक बहुत फेमस वर्स है ना, सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम ब्रह्म, उसके पहले है.
Is it 137?
अच्छा, 137 में जाके देखिए है क्या सभी के पास. Whoever has the book. Did anybody else find it?
It starts with Shanti Pat.
Yeah. Mil gaya? Okay. Okay. So I just wanted to say a few things about it. So we know that this verse is so popular. Anytime you read anything spiritual, we always start. And in Chinmaya Mission, though, it is like very important. We say it every time. So this Taittiriya Upanishad se aaya hai ye. Can you believe that? Main yehi hai. But there are a few other things that I thought everybody will like to know about it. So we know that these mantras are part of the Vedas, right? And this is part of the Upanishad. Usme se aaya hai. Upanishads are part of Veda. So this is part of Yajurveda, this mantra. And in Yajurveda, there are different sections of like the last part, the Upanishads and all that. Ek hota hai Krishna Yajurveda, ek hota hai Shukla Yajurveda, right? So Krishna Yajurved mein, there are 3 Upanishads. And we have already done one of them, Kathopanishad. And then we are doing this Taittiriya. And then there is Shvetashwar Upanishad. All 3 have the same verse. Om Sahana Bhavatu, because they belong to a certain part. But this became the most popular, this Shantri mantra. And it is repeated for every auspicious beginning. And just to give you an idea that there is another part of the Yajurveda which is called Shukla Yajurveda. Isko bolte hai Krishna Yajurveda. It is Krishna more because of the color, not exactly is referring to Krishna Bhagwan, because in the Vedas time Krishna Bhagwan's avatar was not there yet. It has a different meaning. Shukla Yajurveda ka Ishavasya Upanishad hai, anybody wants to know. And उसका जो मंत्र है ना, शांति मंत्र, वो भी बहुत पॉपुलर है. ओम पूर्ण मद पूर्ण मिदम. That has come from that. So this particular one, they always refer first to Taittiriya Upanishad. So that's why. And then you have heard of Mundak and Mandukya Upanishad. So that these Upanishad come from Atharva Veda. This one that we are doing, Taittiriya, is coming from Yajur Veda, but the Atharva Veda ka unka जो है ना, हम because we have done a lot, some of you were there in that class, मांडुक्य जब हमने किया था, ओम भद्रम कर्णेम शृणुयाम देवा, remember, very popular Shanti mantra, that is from Mandukya, and it's also in Mundaka because they belong to the same section. But then same family की आरती वही होती है. अपने चाचा ताऊ वो सभी के वो लोग सेम ही पूजा करेंगे, the same way. So this particular section of Yajur Veda, Krishna Yajur Veda, part of it is Kathopanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, and Shvetashar, and they have that. So I thought that was a very interesting insight that we learned. So now we can read the meaning. Maybe I can do the Sanskrit first and then one of you can read it. So Om is a symbol of the Parabrahma. The whole Upanishad is there. Mandukya Upanishad on Om. It's a symbol of that Brahman. Saha is together. Now is both, because teacher and the taught. Avatu, may he protect. May, Bhagwan protect. Saha, together. Now is us both. Bhunaktu. May we look after the fruits of spiritual study. That's what it means. Means like actually bhunaktu means khana, but यहाँ पर उसका meaning different है. That hey, we are putting up for effort. Something is coming out and we are enjoying it together, kind of thing. That's what it means. Saha is together. Viryam is put in effort with enthusiasm. बोलते ना उसमें बहुत वीरता है, तो यहाँ पर जो effort है उसको वीर्यम बोला गया है. करवा वह, together to find the true meaning of sacred text, because when it comes to spiritual study, it's a give and take. Usko bolte na churning, and then the makhan comes out. So that's what we are trying to do over here, churning with all these things. That's what it is. And Tejasvi. And may our study be Tejasvi. That's what we also hope, that, whatever we are studying over here. Now is again of both of us. Aditam, study. Astu, maybe. Ma, never. What we should do never? With Vishavahe. Do not quarrel. Arguments, quarrel, difference of opinion. Even if you have difference of opinion, agree to disagree. And we have evolved quite a bit too. I don't know whether early part we used to have a lot more, अरे ऐसा नहीं है, वैसा है, and all, which is okay. But we have to kind of get over all those and say, hey, what is the rhythm here? What is the real thing? That's why we bring in, all these great saints' commentaries, because we respect them. They have spent their whole life. They are enlightened people. What they say has a lot of weight. So even if I have my own opinion, I should keep it aside and try to listen to them, what they are saying. Then I might get it. So all those things come under that. I thought this was important, so we'll do it. Who would like to read the meaning?
You want me to, Madi?
Yeah, sure.
Om, may he protect us both. May he help us both to enjoy the fruits of the spiritual study. May we both exert together with enthusiasm to find the true meaning of the sacred text. May our studies make us brilliant. May we never quarrel with each other. Om, peace, peace, and peace. This peace invocation is chanted both by the teacher and the taught every day during the study of the rest of the book, and thus reminding themselves before their study each day that they are to exert together in order to experience the truth of the Upanishads. They get more and more turned up with each other. This condition of perfect unison between the teacher and the taught is unavoidable in the study of subjective science of Vedanta.
So the word is they get more and more tuned up with each other, because what Chinmayananji is telling us, that this kind of study requires a lot of tuning with each other's mind, with the, teacher and taught. Otherwise, it won't happen. It's not like जो outside college की studies होती है ना. You don't care about professor, as long as subject समझ में आ गया, go home. It doesn't work because it won't happen otherwise. So that, all these commentaries that we read of the different saints and sages, we have to take that as because they are the enlightened people who are telling us, and so we have to tune up to them. That's what they're trying to say.
As in modern colleges, Vedanta cannot be learned merely from the bazaar notes. A deep and intimate personal experience is to be conveyed by the teacher in teaching the students. A transcendental experience that inspires the experiencer to a complete sublimation of his egocentric consciousness cannot become a theme that can be sung through the flimsy instruments of language. Therefore, the success in understanding the Vedas and ultimately getting the experience of its truth is dependent entirely upon the seeker's capacity to tune himself to the master's own intimate experiences, which they are expressed vaguely in the intuitive song by him in the finite language of the text.
So he's making us think a lot, very beautifully. So even the teacher is trying to put in the finite language, he's saying. But it is something so much deeper than that. It's a transcendental experience, that they have to tune to. And sometimes the teaching methods can be totally different, and the teacher may treat each student differently because they require a different thing. It's not like a college class that 200 people are sitting and listening to the same lecture and now go home. He has to. That's why when we saw in this the mantras towards the end, remember there were two different meanings. Those mantra, one was for Bhrigu and one was for the rest of the students. Like that, it very important. And then whoever has read that one book about Ramana Maharishi ke bare mein, I don't remember the name of the book. I think the Search in Secret India or something is the name. So this person who comes from another country and he comes to India for seeking spirituality, and he's going everywhere. Jo bhi kuch bolta tha na, he used to go and explore that because he was a seeker. So kisi ne bola ki, hey, go to Ramana Maharishi. So the first time when he went, he didn't connect to him at all. He said, he asked few questions and Ramana Maharishi didn't answer. And he said, ये कैसा साधु है, कुछ बोलता नहीं तो मैं सीखूंगा क्या, भाग गया वहाँ से. Then वो पूरा भटका everywhere, and he learned many different things and all. And then finally, he comes and sits in the same sabha. And he sits silently and he got enlightened. In a sense, he went into deep meditation and all his questions got answered in silence. My God, it's like, so that's how he taught him. See what I'm saying? So that's what they're trying to say. You have to tune, but you have to be ready, otherwise it won't happen. So giving a responsibility to the student also over here. That's what they're trying to do.
Umaji, isn't that before, earlier times, they had Gurukula, and for this also, the student or even Ramji or anybody else, they had to wait for almost a year or so that they can tune, so the Guru can understand up to what level the student is, and student can, also understand how Guru is behaving, what he's doing, so that he goes to that level before he gave any teaching.
Yes, yeah. So they will make them do mundane work,
Yes.
and I'll tell you, in Chinmayananji's also had the same experience. He told them to go fetch the water from Ganga, and it was a very steep hike, and he had to go, and he cannot question what he's saying. He's testing his endurance. That if he's a weak student, bhag jayega. Today's world, all those entrance exams and all, that's what they're supposed to do. You are seeing a person is qualified or not. Everybody says, I can do it, but truly can you do it or not? So this is there, but inka jo hai, exam different hota hai.
Yeah. आप उनकी बात कर रहे हो, पानी, he asked him to get water. So he took a kamandalu or something, got water. And when he brought back, Swamiji was so upset. He said, I told you to get water. I didn't tell you to get in this kamandalu. I want you to get water. Okay. He was teaching him a lesson that way also.
Yeah. So that
That's good.
what you are saying, that even simple acts that we may not, there is so much deep depth in it, and he's teaching him through his actions, his silence, everything is a teaching over there. True.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
This perfect unison between the teacher and the taught generally gets molested by the same
By some
misunderstanding.
misunderstanding.
There's some misunderstanding between them. It may be either in the form of a teacher's dissatisfaction towards his student, or it can be due to the student's misjudgment of teacher's attitude or words. If either of them suffers from such a clogging of the heart, they become, as it were, short-circuited, and the transference of knowledge is immediately blocked. In order to avoid such a sad plight and assure a perfect tuning up both from the teacher and the taught, and from the taught to the teacher, this stanza with all sincerity is chanted daily by the preceptor and the disciple. The thrice repeated peace chanting and their significances have already been explained at the end of the opening stanza of chapter 1.
So he's just saying that the last part, when he say, ma vid vishavahai, he's just saying that there should be no misunderstanding because the personalities are different and all that. And, when it comes to Upanishad, the students who come, they are very intelligent and they are very well read, and they know all the shastras and all that. So they might have their own opinion. They might find some fault in the teacher. And, like some of these, I'll tell you, this is like a real life thing too. Some of the sadhu sants, they are very highly, they are enlightened people and all, but they still have a body, right? So there are certain things that they maybe, it's not really nasha or something, but koi tambaku kha raha hoga, kuch kar raha hoga, and then people judge them. Hey, how can this guy, if he's eating tambaku, he cannot be an enlightened person. All kinds of things. Hey, why are you looking at him? Why don't you look what he's saying? So that's what I'm trying to say. So basically, having some misunderstanding and all is just saying, may God not create this situation that I start seeing faults in my guru and the guru starts seeing faults in it's both ways. They're just praying for, hey, what the purpose is to take out the truth and let that be the goal and not other frivolous things and all that we start arguing and fighting. That's what they're trying to say. Yeah. And the last part is that Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So a lot of you already know there are 3 kind of Ashantis that can come in the world. One is they say like, some kind of, जैसे tsunami आने वाली थी, कुछ होने वाला था. Through the devas, some natural phenomena happens. उससे अशांति आती है, वो शांत रहे when we are studying. That's one thing. The other one is surrounding. कोई neighbor का कुत्ता भौंक रहा है, कोई big noise is coming, or something is happening outside, not from the devas, but within our surroundings. Some disturbance is coming. उसमें शांति रहे, और अगर वो दोनों भी शांत हैं, तो, my body might start acting up, or I'm hungry, or I'm sleepy, that kind of thing, or my mind starts within myself. Adhyatmic Ashanti means creating by myself, my body or my mind, वो भी शांत रहे. So that's why we हमेशा बोलते हैं ना, शांति, शांति, शांति. Those 3 places, they are broadly divided. Sab shant rahe, so then I can study. That's what it means. So any question, comment on this? Om Sahana Bhavatu, since we say it every time. I thought this was good too. If not, then I can close the class early today. And we will do the other one, Om Shanno Mitra, next time. Good? Okay. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Hari Om, Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Okay, Hari Om, everyone.
Hari Om, Hari Om.